that I may give God an opportunity to get at me. And I use those words carefully, because the world has always been a busy place, and much of it in haste without need. You understand what I mean? You can be rushing here and there and missing the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And as I look through the life of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, what I notice is how quietly he went about the divine business. There was no hustle. There was no speed. And yet he was never late. I remember Wigglesworth telling us once how he had a request to go. He was unknown in those days in a small church in the city of Bradford, England. And he had this request to go to a farm in the center of the county where I live. And he waited until he felt the time had come for him to go, and he went. We were going about 40 miles by train, then 7 miles on the bicycle out into this lonely farmhouse. And when he went through the yard, of the gate of the yard, the woman emerged from the door and shouted out, "You're too late. The boy is dying." And he made this remark, "I am never too late." And when he went in, the boy had a very serious heart condition and was in the process of death. He went upstairs and looked at him and came down and said to his mother, "Now you get very cold farmhouse and no central heating in those days, and she get his clothes aired. And I'll tell you something later on." So he went back to the boy and said to him, "Look, I can't pray for you yet. I've got to wait on the Lord." And he went and stayed in the barn all night. And when he came out in the morning, he said to the lady, "You've got his clothes ready?" "No," because she felt he was dying and nothing would stop it. She said to her, "Get those clothes aired." He went up to the boy and said, "Now, son, I've talked to the Lord and he's going to heal you. There's no doubt about that." But he said, "Not yet," because he said, "God has other things to deal with me about. And so I've got to go back to the barn." He went back there for another night, and he waited on God. And when he came the next morning, he said to the wife, "Are the clothes ready?" "Well," she said, reluctantly, "Well, all right, just to please you, I've done it." He went up to the boy and he said this, "Sonny, God's going to heal you today." And he said, when I pray, he said, I'm going to fall down. I'm going to get on the floor. God's going to bowl me over, and I'm going to be on my face on the floor of the bedroom. And whilst I'm there, you're going to jump out of bed, and you're going to be healed and run round this room. So he prayed, and it happened exactly as he said. And the boy was made whole that day. Amen. And when he went downstairs, the mother and father was in the kitchen, and when they saw him, they fainted. They went down on the floor. But Dick, I say it with regret to myself and to every other minister. We are busy in many ways and many things. And I believe we've lost that art in many places of waiting upon God until we have revelation. And so these people in the Acts of the Apostle, Wigglesworth, had seen it. Whenever you heard him going into the Acts of the Apostles, because there he saw the divine operation and how it came into being. And here it is. These people ministered to the Lord. Now it is possible to pray without ministering to the Lord.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Absolutely, yes. In other words, just requesting without...
All the time requesting.
Yes.
You see, this is why we have the Lord's Prayer, so-called, and it's very important to look at those basics. And what he's saying is, don't be like the pagans, don't be like the hypocrites, for they think they shall be heard for their much speaking, but it isn't the multitude of our words, it's the quality of our words. And do we hear that?
Yes.
It's not how much we say, it's how much divine content is in the saying of it. And this is why he says, when you pray, go into your closet. And that's where it starts. It's fellowship with the Almighty. Now these men